The terror threat downgraded one notch as the investigation leads to further raids and arrests. An ITV News exclusive, the first pictures inside the block where it's suspected the mass murderer made his deadly bomb. The show of strength in the square, the poignant tribute from the family of teenager Georgina Calendar, who was killed. And grounded and ground down, British Airways cancels flights at Heathrow and Gatwick.
This is ITV News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. The terror threat facing the country was reduced today from critical to severe, and troops will be taken off the streets from Tuesday as the investigation appeared to close in on the group behind the Manchester attack. There were fresh raids across the northwest and a further 3 arrests. ITV News has obtained exclusive footage from inside of the block where it's suspected Salman Obaidi made his deadly device. Our security editor Rohit Kacharu reports from Manchester.
Behind the pacing police officer and the boarded up doors, this is the site of a suspected bomb factory. The debris from the police raid almost cleared, the smell of chemicals almost gone. This is the 12th floor flat rented by Salman Obaidi for 12 weeks. His pop-up headquarters can be seen from a neighbour's window.
A lot of forensics been happening. I've seen a lot of people going in and out. They've been carrying a load of bags, files and whatnot. And yeah, there's been 24-hour police guard there since. There's plastic residue on the walls everywhere. I saw the doors hanging off the hinges before they was boarded up. And yeah, they've been blew wide open.
Wednesday evening, as police prepared to raid the flat, a drone overhead, sirens in the distance, more officers arriving. And after 3 days, police are still there. Of all the homes raided, this is among the most important to investigators. Moss Side in Manchester this morning. Another police raid filmed on CCTV. Officers emerged from either side of the van. The door smashed open after 2 strikes. 20 minutes later, a suspect was taken away. The man wearing shorts, a black top and handcuffs. He's casually led past the police tape and into the vehicle.
And we just saw police just at the top of the road.
Literally screaming, police, 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 and then they just took someone away.
This investigation is on a scale rarely seen in recent years. Bomb disposal units deployed again today. Officers studying the contents of the boot of a car. What looked like laptop batteries taken away and tested. Despite the candid confidence of senior detectives, there are things they're still looking for.
So Rohit, a significant moment today, the downgrading of the terror threat and the eventual withdrawal of troops from the streets.
Significant, yes, Lucrezia, but remember the critical level of security not seen for a decade was only ever meant to last for a few days, but it's a sign of the times perhaps when the assessment of a terrorist attack is downgraded from imminent to highly likely, and that's met with an apparent sigh of relief. But this was the response of Theresa May, Prime Minister, earlier today.
JTAC, the Independent Joint Terrorism Analysis Centre, has this morning taken the decision to reduce the threat level from critical to severe. The public should be clear about what this means. A threat level of severe means an attack is highly likely. The country should remain vigilant.
But still a great deal of work to do. There are around 1,000 officers working on this investigation, and they still have hundreds of items to look at.
All right, Rohit, thank you. Well, the family of teenager Georgina Calendar, who was killed in the attack, said they have been humbled by the support they have received from across the world. And much of that support has been centred on St Anne's Square, where they visited and released balloons in her memory. From there, Rebecca Barry reports.
Traumatised with a grief that only a parent who's lost a child can really understand. Leslie Calendar came into Manchester city centre, the city from where her daughter never made it home. 18-year-old Georgina had been counting down the days until the Ariana Grande concert, but that day became her last.
All my special memories are the hugs and how she used to just put her arms around me, always reassuring me. She was just so caring and loving, and she was just my best friend.
Georgina was the first of the 22 people killed to be named. Her mother was at her side as the doctors tried to save her.
Just a flicker of hope that, you know, she'd just move her hand, or she'd just, you know, move her leg, or just try and open her eyes a little.
I should have been there to hold her hand. And she was lying there. I should have been there to hold her.
No, but I was, my love. I was.
Whilst the loved ones of those killed begin the very personal process of grieving, thousands of people who never knew the victims have transformed this square into a very public display of their empathy and their sympathy.
My baby girl, who I'm just going to be lost now for the rest of my life. And I just don't know what I'm going to do without her.
During such unimaginable pain, perhaps all of this can bring some sort of solace. Rebecca Barry, ITV News, Manchester.
Thousands of British Airways passengers hoping to fly abroad for the bank holiday have instead endured chaos after the airline's computers failed around the globe. All flights have been cancelled at Gatwick and Heathrow. Well, Lucy Watson is at Heathrow this evening. Lucy, scenes of utter frustration and chaos.
Well, this system has gone down across the world. So there are queues for information, there are queues for refunds, and there are queues of people trying to get taxis and buses home when in fact they should be abroad now. This is not how bank holiday travel should look.
It's very difficult to estimate how long we'll be here. I know
they're going nowhere fast, neither people nor planes. British Airways' IT system has crashed, grounding aircraft and affecting travellers worldwide. Nobody and nothing can check in or board.
The first thing I knew something was wrong was when we were boarding. They had a manual map of the seats, and they were ticking off people's. None of the actual scans were working. And then we eventually got on the plane, waited there for a while, and then we're just about to take off. Engine started, full acceleration, then they stopped. Nothing for about 15 minutes. And then it said computer error computers are down worldwide, and we don't know what's going on. We're going to sit here and wait.
I want to tell you something. I really want to help you.
And no one seems to know when services will resume. Passengers have queued and piles of bags mounted since early this morning, with all flights from Heathrow and Gatwick Airport being cancelled. Gillian and Warren were hoping to meet their daughter in Madrid before going home to Australia, but they have to wait.
We'll go with Iberian Airlines tomorrow and catch up with our daughter for one last time with her before we go home to Australia. Hopefully we'll get to see her tomorrow. Otherwise I will be in tears.
BA has apologised and says it's trying to resolve the situation as soon as possible. But it's not soon enough for those who should be on their holidays. Well, some people were told by staff here today that this was the result of a cyber attack, and they took to social media to say as much. But BA refute that claim. They say there's absolutely no evidence of it.
Right, Lucy Watson, thank you. Well, this year's FA Cup final is being played under tight security at Wembley, where Arsenal currently lead Chelsea by 1-0. Before kick-off, there was a minute's silence for those who died in Manchester. From Wembley, Amy Lewis reports.
This is the most heavily guarded FA Cup match in history. Armed officers were the first sight greeting fans. Armoured riot vehicles blocked roads and extra response units were brought in for backup. This is the reality of modern-day top-level football.
Did you think twice about coming?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, you've got to think about your safety and obviously your family's concerned, but it's a big occasion, FA Cup final, so you can't let anyone spoil it.
Did it make you think twice about coming?
Absolutely not. Made us more determined, really, to come, didn't it? Absolutely. We had no chance of missing out on today.
The 90,000 Arsenal and Chelsea fans were told to arrive early to allow extra time to get through security. Supporters and staff were welcomed with airport-style checks.
As a mark of respect and remembrance.
Inside, thoughts were far from football. The players were united, wearing black armbands. Prince William, the FA's president, among those paying their respects. Then a 1-minute silence to remember those who lost their lives in Manchester. Once the football started, Arsenal were quick to make a mark.
Sanchez is in to score.
It took just 4 minutes for their star man Alexis Sanchez to score. Chelsea claimed it was offside, but the official decided otherwise.
And it is 1-0 to Arsenal.
Well, Arsenal certainly played the best in the first half. They're trying to make up for that miserable season. The first half, of course, since Arsene Wenger took charge 21 years ago, that they finished outside the top four. Chelsea are champions and are going for the double. At the end of the first half, it finished Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0.
Amy Lewis, thank you. And Celtic have gone the entire Scottish football season unbeaten, a feat not achieved since the 19th century. They left it very late to beat Aberdeen 2-1 in the final of the Scottish Cup, with Tom Rogic scoring the winner in the first minute of injury time. Brendan Rodgers becoming the third manager in Celtic's history to lead the side to a domestic treble. And that is it for now. I'm back with the late news at 10 to 11. Until then, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.